Live from Siouxland's news source, this is KTIV News 4.
Mile-wide tornado. It's kicking up debris.
I dove into the basement. My wife was already in there, and she literally grabbed me and pulled me into the basement.
It's complete devastation. I can't believe this happened so fast. It blows my mind. I can't believe it happened that quickly.
The entire down the street, there's no houses down there. Up the street, there's no houses either.
I have not been this close to a tornado or been in a tornado like, so I am still in shock.
I'm not too afraid to admit it. I was crying like a baby because it was just the scariest feeling in the world. It was helpless.
24 hours ago, tornadoes ripped through several Nebraska and Iowa communities, leaving a trail of damage behind. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday evening for News 4 at 6. I'm Katie Koppel.
And I'm meteorologist Kat Taylor. What we saw yesterday was incredibly rare, and it will be weeks before we know the full scope of the damage left behind. Tonight, we're looking across the tri-state region at some of the hardest hit areas. The Omaha, Nebraska area took a direct hit from these storms, with multiple tornadoes reported in the metro area and several surrounding communities.
We begin tonight in the Shelby County, Iowa town of Harlan, where a twister left a trail of damage behind after it passed through that Omaha area. Take a look at this video sent to KTIV from Dan Goshawk. This is drone video of a large wedge tornado making a beeline into Shelby County and through portions of Harlan and Tennant, Iowa. It's still too early to know just how big this tornado was or how long it was on the ground for. KTIV's Connor Trett has been on the ground today in Harlan, where that community of just under 5,000 is working to determine just how much damage was done.
Thanks, Katie. I'm out in Shelby County, Iowa right now, where cleanup efforts are still well underway after Friday night's storm. They started actually right after the storm hit around 7:30 last night. And if you can see behind me, the cleanup effort is still very much underway. Now, we've been all up and down Shelby and Crawford County today, and we started our day off in Manila, Iowa, about 30 or 40 miles away from where I'm at right now. And we started off at their cemetery, which relative to what we're seeing around here may have received a little less damage, but still significant over there for the Manila community. And if you ask anybody that we've talked to today, they have all said pretty much the same thing. What we lost was replaceable, everybody's okay, and that's what matters.
It was close. We have family in the area and it missed all of them. One of our farm sites got hit, but that's pretty minor compared to some of the other damage. There's some pretty severe stuff, but I haven't heard that anyone has been hurt or injured at all. It's all replaceable. There's a lot of local people here. Many of them from the city of Manila have come out, and just others in the local area to help clean up most of the debris, or at least get that first phase done and get things uncovered.
We also got a chance to talk to quite a few families around Shelby and Crawford County who are picking up the pieces after the storm. We'll hear more from them tonight at 10 o'clock, but for now, that's it for me here in Shelby County. Katie, back to you.
Now again, we'll have more from Connor tonight on KTIV News 4 at 10.
I think that as time went on, we saw what was inevitable. We saw what was happening in Lincoln. We were watching that one cell on the bottom right of our screen, and sure enough, it was getting bigger and bigger and larger and approaching Omaha.
Douglas County, Nebraska, one of the hardest hit by yesterday's storms. Douglas County, of course, is home to Omaha, Nebraska's largest city. But it wasn't just the Omaha metro that was hit with the severe weather. Several neighborhoods were in the direct path of the tornadoes.
One of the hardest hit communities in the Omaha area is the town of Elkhorn.
Now take a look at this drone video captured earlier today. The area between Fort and Ida Streets west of 204th Street in Elkhorn took a direct hit. Officials have yet to get a good estimate on the number of homes and buildings lost to that tornado. One report stating there's a half-mile-long stretch of trees that are completely snapped in half. One Elkhorn resident moved into his dream home just 1 month ago.
Yeah, it's pretty devastating. It was my wife and I's dream home. We're thankful to be alive. We're very thankful. We saw it coming from the southwest, and when it got a little too close for comfort, we headed downstairs quickly, and we were in the downstairs bathtub.
Now Sunday says he and his wife will rebuild. Elkhorn is a neighborhood filled with many families, and one teenager says there isn't much left of the street that she lives on.
The entire down the street, there's no houses down there. Up the street, there's no houses either. Up that hill right there, there's like a couple houses knocked down. Right here's the only houses up.
Now you'll notice that Aubrey is holding a dog. That is not her dog. She wasn't sure who it belonged to, but she was going to take care of it until she could find its owner.
To Omaha's Epley Airfield now, where a tornado hit the airport. Our sister station, WWT in Omaha, captured the moment that the twister took out their live camera at the airport, and the airport was still open at the time, with passengers and staff taking shelter until the storm passed. And here's another look at the tornado that struck Epley Airfield. Just incredible video here. You can see it ripping apart roofs and homes. The passenger terminal was not impacted, although some of the buildings on the airport's grounds were destroyed. We know several private planes were damaged and flipped over. The airport was closed for about an hour yesterday, but flights resumed after the storms passed, and thankfully there were no injuries reported at the airport.
Now in photos posted to the official airport Facebook page, you can see just how much damage was caused by that twister. Again, thankfully, the passenger terminals at Epley Airfield were not in the path of that tornado. Most of the damage was done at the private airplane hangars. In a release this morning, Epley Airfield officials say 4 hangar buildings were destroyed. 32 privately owned aircraft were stored inside. Other buildings sustained damage as well.
And to Bennington, Nebraska now, a community on the outskirts of northwest Omaha. This is video from a twister that struck that community, sent into KTIV also by Dan Goshawk. You can see it was a very large wedge tornado, at times wider than it was tall.
Now let's take a look at some of the damage done by that tornado. This video sent to our Omaha station showing a home on Bennington Lake destroyed by that storm. The roof completely gone, debris strewn everywhere. Several homes along the lake are missing roofs or just completely destroyed. The community of Waverly, Iowa sits nestled between Lincoln and Omaha, and also took a direct hit from one of the first large tornadoes that developed from the storm system.
Reporter Chanel Taylor McCarthy from our sister station in Lincoln, Nebraska, spoke with one family who are grateful it wasn't worse.
A sea of support amidst the tragedy.
I have not been this close to a tornado or been in a tornado like, so I am still in shock.
Those who heard about the damage at the Colton family home have brought out tractors and hands to pick up the debris from Friday's tornado.
Cleaning up all the wood, metal, and just making sure the planter and fields don't get ruined or anything.
So it's a long process. We're still in search of a 200-pound steel table that got lifted, and we don't know where it's at.
Jackie Colton says she and her husband's home is without power, but the sheds that housed equipment and a family horse are now in ruins. Jackie Colton said she was a mile down the road moving equipment to a safe place when she looked up and saw a twister moving right toward the property.
We knew that our place had probably taken the hit, and which it did.
Colton says she checked on her son's house that's just up the road before coming home to assess the damage. She was devastated by what she saw.
When we had trees down in the driveway, you couldn't get in the driveway. Our shed is totally demolished. In our back shed, the part of it has been taken off.
Colton says the family horse was hurt during the storms and had to get stitches, but is recovering. She says there is still a lot of work ahead, but she's happy no one was seriously hurt.
Mile-wide tornado. It's kicking up debris.
To Minden, Iowa now, in Pottawatomie County, Iowa, just outside of the Omaha Metro. This large wedge tornado was captured on camera as well. You can see it picking up and throwing debris as it moves through that area.
Now check out this video of Minden from that twister. Emergency officials say one person remained hospitalized overnight from injuries sustained during that storm. The tornado so strong, some homes were pulled completely off of the foundations. An early estimate by emergency officials state at least 120 homes and businesses were destroyed or damaged. At least 50% of the homes in that town impacted by that tornado. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds issuing a disaster proclamation for that community. Now, in the hours after these tornadoes, several community assistance programs have been started to get the victims the help they need. The Northwest Iowa and Northeast Nebraska Red Cross has been activated. Each will be sending crews and aid to impacted areas. Norfolk, Nebraska's Orphan Grain Train also launching a mission into those affected areas. They are looking for donations of toiletries, wipes, towels, diapers, several other items to be donated to victims of these tornadoes. For more on how you can help, we will have that information online at KTIV.com. Now, Kat, it was really an unprecedented day yesterday with the number of tornadoes that we saw, and you were here tracking it all, and just looking at this graphic behind you, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a pretty rare event when you have one metro area impacted by more than one tornado in one given day, and not just more than one tornado, more than one strong to violent tornado, which we saw yesterday. But to put this visually, you can really see how we had these tornado reports generally south of our area, and they just kind of moved into the KTIV viewing area. So you can see how we have multiple lines in the Omaha that we just showed you, but we still had a tornado report in Stanton County where we actually had a report of an athletic facility losing their roof out in that direction. So we still had tornado reports in Nebraska as well, but for our viewing area, Harrison and Shelby County were the most impacted by the tornado that came from Elkhorn and Bennington, Blair, all the way to the north. We also had the Omaha metro area that came into Harrison County, and then that longer track tornado that moved for us, impacting Harlan, Tennant, as well as Shelby, where we saw that really, really large tornado come through our area. We do technically have a severe threat in that same spot for today, but I think that chance is quickly diminishing. We're very cool right now for tornadic activity, so I really think that that very marginal chance for severe weather has pretty much gone. We do have thunderstorms that are moving up out of the south, and you can see they're kind of dying as they head toward Highway 20. We're going to continue to watch that happen here over the next couple hours. We do have dark skies right now in our Black Bourbon Casino camera in downtown Sioux City. It's looking dark, but it's 58 degrees. We have a northwest wind around 7 miles per hour. Lower dew point right now, so that's probably why we're not currently seeing any rain. But over the next 3 hours, we are expecting to see rain showers and thunderstorms develop across the area tonight, but even more so tomorrow. I'll have your forecast coming up.
Celebrating 70 years, Katie Koppel, meteorologist Kat Taylor, and Sports Force with Irvin Doman. This is KTIV News 4 at 6.
Walking through history, how the local museum is taking residents on a unique tour of history and the people who made Sioux City what it is today.
When severe